Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the middle of April 2026. You have this conditioning card. It says, have you accepted the illusory limits placed onto you by your upbringing and social conditioning? That's a big one for you, Aries. We're going to talk about it. You have this schedule card. It says, most forms of prosperity require time, effort to manifest. Do you have room in your schedule for the abundance you are wanting to attract? So time is also important because Saturn is in your sign for until 2029 or whatever it is. So you are going to be looking a lot at the time that you have, the time you don't have. Again, I think this right here, we've literally talked about it before, how people in your life could be affecting your outcomes. Again, this is not bad or good. It's kind of a little bit of both. And I just feel Aries should be paying attention to the people that you're spending the most time with because it's going to matter. Another thing that I want to get out of the way here, Aries, for you this month is if you are filling out like important paperwork for, especially having to do with funding something, so, trying to get a loan, trying to get, what's the word I'm looking for? A mortgage is the word I was looking for, something like that. It's going to be really extra important that you pay very close attention to what you're doing. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this so that you do it correctly, right? Especially if it's something like a mortgage or, something along those lines, car loan, whatever, I would, bring someone with you or, have a person you trust to look over everything again. Especially until maybe about the first week of May. You just have some things going on that, in the area of other people's money for you. And, I would just double check is what I'm trying to spit out here, Aries. You start with the Ace of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. Again, it's an amazing time for money for you. But again, if you're trying to get money, it's not that anything bad will happen. Again, if you follow the rules, if you have someone there to help you, or if you just make sure that you double check the paperwork and you didn't miss something important, then you'll be perfectly fine. The other thing is that we have so much, the other reason I'm saying this is with everything in your sign, again, this is a great time for you, Aries, but, if you do make a mistake, it's just going to be annoying. So, like, you're going to have to go back over and do it again or something like that. So, I would just make sure, right? But, it is a great time for you to get funding or to get money from other people. So, definitely something you could be doing. The Ace of Pentacles can also represent a big opportunity that you need to work on. The opportunity for Aries is your entire life that you are working on. So, again, with every planet and its mother in your sign right now, it makes a lot of sense to me that the opportunity is you. You have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing. I would be very careful with people. I'm not saying that everyone's a liar or cheater that's around you, and this is not just love either, Aries. I feel you have to pay attention to every connection that you're in, and as a matter of fact, he is avoiding war by stealing these swords from this army in the background, right? So if you have people in your life that are going to cause a problem, I would say for the next few months, that you should make sure to avoid people that cause problems, right? Or people that always start arguments and things like that. You just don't need it right now. And I would, be tactical. A Seven of Swords is about being tactical and about, sometimes I feel it is about avoiding those things. On top of that, we also have the Five of Wands. I would be making this decision from the position of time. Like, do you have the time to argue with a person? Is it worth your time to get involved in battles and things like that? No, it's not. This is worth it. You have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is my card of concentrated connection. So these people matter. These three people are celebrating this harvest that's going on around them. And I always say Three of Cups is a great card for being with people who want to celebrate your harvest with you, right? The people who lift you up, the people who want the best for you. Those are the people that you really need to be spending the most time with here, Aries, moving forward. I would say for months, not even just the rest of this month, but for a while. I feel people are going to be very important. And, I part of me also feels that you are really in a time where you're going to be seeing people's true colors. You know how they say how they say that what people say or how people act when they're drunk is how they really are on the inside, right? Well, that's what's going to be happening for you. It's almost as if the whole world is drunk right now. And they're going to be communicating their deeper truths to you. So your job is to trust it, especially for the next like 6 years. And this is Uranus and Gemini. Part of me feels that, starting back in 2016 or so, I was always talking about Neptune in Pisces and how when Neptune left Pisces, we would see the mask coming off. We kind of have, it's kind of come off, right? Where things are being exposed. Now that we're here in 2026, I'm like, okay, well, the mask hasn't really fully come off of anything yet. And but part of me is wondering if Uranus and Gemini is going to be the final thing that really takes the mask off, and where we can really see deep into something like an issue or people or situations in our life. So, again, I would be paying attention, especially because, Gemini is your third house for most of you. And even if it's not, it's going to affect you all the same, Aries. So, definitely something I would pay attention to. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Magician. Very good Magician time for you. Again, first house energy is great for reinventing yourself. And the Magician said he can be whoever the hell he wants to be. He just has to adopt the habits, right? I always say the easiest thing to do with the Magician is it's not even fake it till you make it, which I'm not a big fan of fake it till you make it anyway, because I think we can just be the thing that we want to be. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to adopt the habits of success in whatever it is you're trying to be successful at, and just to continuously do it, and you will change. And that's what I would do with the Magician. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Queen of Cups. There's a little bit of love here for you, Aries, which we have the King and Queen of Cups, which I actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure you had in your last reading, these two, or something similar. So it could be a divine counterpart. We have the Two of Cups as well, if you're looking for love. The Seven of Swords, again, can be lying, cheating, stealing. So I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this yet. We'll figure it out as we clarify. With the Three of Cups, you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, more fun. Definitely you, Aries. I think everybody has to have more fun with all this energy and fire. But at the same time, I also feel that you, because it's all in your sign, that you're being pushed to be more responsible, to take control of your time and all that other stuff. But you should also be scheduling some fun time, some time to work on a hobby or interest or something that recharges your batteries. And I think that is critically important for everyone. I literally said it to everyone in the 2026 readings. This is a fast year. I feel it's an energetic year, for sure. And so we need something to get that energy out, and but also something that fulfills us so we don't run out of energy as well. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this fulfillment card and this purification card. Yeah, still a good time for purification energy. We had the eclipse in Virgo last month in March, and eclipses last for like 6 months. So this one, we really until the next eclipse, which is at the end of August. And so anything that you can purify and clear out, and especially when it comes to health, would be a good thing. The other thing I'll say to you, Aries, and I haven't really said this to anyone else except for one other person, I don't remember who. Next year we're going to have Mars go retrograde at the beginning of the year. It's like January 10th or something like that, and it's retrograding in Leo again, which is pretty weird for Mars to retrograde in the same sign, like one after another. Mars goes retrograde about every 2 years. And so it's pretty weird to have it in Leo again. And, Leo has a lot to do with like health, vitality, things like that. Obviously I tell people all the time, I'm a big fan of getting ahead of the astrology, so we can avoid things that could happen in the future if we take care of it now, or if we follow the rules now, right? So I think purification energy, getting rid of bad habits, getting rid of things that ruin your health or anything like that would be a very good idea before we get to that time, because that will make sure that you continue winning into the future. You have the Five of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Five of Wands can be conflict or competition. Obviously, I do feel that you are going to be experiencing people being competitive with you because you are in Aries, because so much is in Aries. Five of Wands wants us to study the competition and stand out. As I always say, every card has a solution. The solution to the Five of Wands is to see what the competition is doing and do something different. So that's what I would do. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel slow progress here. I feel pretty good about the Knight of Pentacles. I feel progress has been slow for Aries. I feel for the most part, most of you are coming off of a plateau, which I have said to you before, for sure. So I feel a lot of you have felt that plateau energy. Really, I feel like the biggest pain in the ass for Aries is Chiron. Chiron's been in Aries for a long time, and luckily, Chiron also leaves Aries next year. Thank God. I can't wait for it to leave myself, and I'm not even in Aries. So, I feel that in a lot of ways that you've been healing a lot of like personal wounds, personal things, and this has maybe been part of the reason that there's been a little bit of a plateau. But now that we're getting to the end, again, a planet, especially planets, or in Chiron's case, an asteroid, when it's in a sign for a long time, it's not the same at the end as it is at the beginning, right? Hopefully, if we're smart, we've been working with the energy, we've been learning, and so it's kind of different now that it's at the end. And so I feel a lot of you are going to be, it's like you're being prepared to break out of a plateau that you've been stuck on. You have the Emperor, of course you do, because again, every planet and its mother is in your sign right now, so, obviously your energy is going to be very strong right now. Whenever you show up as yourself, it does put you in a position of power and strength, so obviously that's a good thing as well. I feel you need to be prepared for a lot of opportunities. I would be taking leadership opportunities as well at this time. I feel a lot of you could be getting a lot more serious and disciplined. I'm definitely not saying that you're lazy, Aries. I don't think Aries is lazy at all, but maybe you have felt lazy over the past few years. And, I feel you're getting serious about something. It wouldn't surprise me if some of you were coming up with a schedule for something that you're working on with that schedule card. Like instead of just saying like, oh, I'll work on it a little bit here, a little bit there, you could be becoming more dedicated to projects that you're working on, which is a very good, having that dedication energy. I think it changes everything. I mean, call me crazy, but I always tell the story that, for the first 4 or 5 years of this channel, I just did my readings whenever I wanted. Like I just would do them like throughout the day. And then like the first thing I did, one of the first things I did that I am convinced blew up my channel is I stuck to a schedule. Why does it work? I don't know. Maybe having a schedule is a signal to the universe that you're serious, right? Or something like that. But I feel that with the Emperor, that having a schedule would really help. With the Five of Wands, you have the Ace of Wands. I think I said in your last reading as well, creativity is going to be a very big vibe, very good energy for you. Your more creative energy is the thing that will lead to a lot more success. So that's the first thing that pops into my head. It's not the traditional solution to things that's going to necessarily work. It's more your creative ideas are the things that are going to work moving forward. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Page of Swords. Yeah, Page of Swords wants you to be curious. Maybe it's time to start exploring the edges of the plateau. Like, why are you plateaued? Why are things not changing? Or is there just one area of your life that is not changing? The Page of Swords wants you to be a detective. Page of Swords wants us to get to the bottom of things, wants us to research, wants us to look into things on a deeper level. And I feel all that would be very helpful. With the Emperor, you have the Hangman. The Hangman is new perspectives. Again, you are going to have 6 billion new perspectives every single second of every single day for the next 6 years, with 6-ish years with Uranus in Gemini. So it's your third house, and, that is a very mental house. Gemini is very mental. Uranus is very mental. So I feel a lot of you are going to have a lot of ideas. These could be ideas that feel completely upside down. Like he is. He's looking at the world from upside down. But those are exactly the things that the world needs right now. So I feel just random directions, random moments of enlightenment. It wouldn't surprise me at all if you had sudden bursts of genius at random times over the next 6 years. That's what Uranus in the third and Gemini is. It's random genius. It is randomly coming up with an idea that works. So, but you have to work on those ideas. You have to make sure that you're following through on those things and seeing them through to the end, which is the other secret for you, Aries, is that you have to start and finish. And if you do that, you'll have a great time. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Hearth card, and you have this 8th house card that says mystery on it. We were talking kind of about your 8th house at the beginning of the reading. So and it's interesting that you have an 8th house card coming up because, again, if you're doing anything important paperwork, signing a contract, it's not a Mercury retrograde. And I don't even necessarily think it's like a retrograde. I just feel that you have to make sure to double check any important paperwork, especially having to do with other people's money, funding, mortgages, car loans, all that stuff. I would really make sure that you're reading the fine print. I don't think anything bad is going to happen. I just feel like you want to make sure it doesn't. And, I would make sure to pay attention. You have the King of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Hermit. I do feel some of you could be attracting a person where you're like, how is this person single? Maybe that's why the Seven of Swords is coming up. Again, we're going to clarify. We'll find out, but definitely could be love. I'm pretty sure you've been getting the King of Cups, and with all the energy in Aries, I would definitely be careful of your emotions. I'm not too worried about you, Aries. I'm worried about everybody else for sure. I have been telling everybody else, no road rage, no, no getting into fights, no starting arguments, even if you're right. All that stuff is what we should all be avoiding. And I feel it's partially true for you, but you have Neptune in your sign as well. And so I feel for you, this is more about exploring the emotion. You have an emotion, why? Asking the question. He doesn't drown in his emotions. He has an emotion. He's like, why did that person piss me off so much? And then he comes up with an answer and he moves on, right? He gets the answer, whatever it is, and he just moves forward. And I feel that would be a good thing for you here. It's about being introspective. If someone starts getting angry on the road and you just let it go and you say, oh, maybe they're just having a bad day, right? It's about learning to just let it go. You have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering. Again, I think we all need something to rest, relax, recover into. But that's the tricky thing. That's why at the beginning of the year, I said everybody should have an activity because it's Aries energy. It's like we need to relax, but it has to be like active relaxation, which is a little bit of a contradiction. But, going for a walk for me is relaxing, right? So that's what it is for me. But what is it for you? Like, what is something that is active but also relaxing that you can do that will recharge your batteries? We need to have an active relaxation thing. So yes. You have the Hermit. I said introspection on the King of Cups, and I do feel like introspective energy would be helpful. We also have the Hangman, and Hangman is your perspective on something. Instead of getting angry at someone on the road, just saying they're having a bad day, right? You're just looking at it from a different point of view, and you're letting it go and not taking it on, which is probably what Aries should be doing. I also feel, of course, it would be a great time for you to get out in public if you're looking for love or even if you're just looking for new friends or new things to do. So time to get out of the house. Aries, also make sure to leave a comment. Really helps me out. With the King of Cups, you have the Temperance card. It could be also that you have to be patient with this person. I do feel something with that Seven of Swords. I'm not saying this person is a liar, cheater, stealer. Really, we don't see anything else that would say that. But, there might be something where you're like, why is this person still single? Or, why are they not jumping right into bed with me or whatever the problem is. But maybe they're just more patient or maybe they want to be taking their time. With the Four of Swords, you have the Five of Wands. Yes, again, avoid conflict at all cost, of course. Four of Swords even is like cooler heads will prevail here, Aries. So, make sure that you're not having any blow-ups, blowouts, anything like that. I do feel like competition is good for you. Like I said, studying the competition is an amazing thing for you to do. Like, what is the difference between what they're doing and you're not doing? And is there a different direction than that you could go in? And that's where your wins are really going to come from. With the Hermit, you have the Three of Pentacles. If you have been working on something behind the scenes, I feel it is time to show off. We are definitely in a time where we should be showing off. We have Pluto and Aquarius. There's a big part of Pluto and Aquarius, I believe, that says we have to shine our light in the world. The Hermit has the star in his lantern. The star is Aquarius. So I feel it is definitely time for you to show something off, especially if you've been working on something or planning a project or whatever. It might be time to put it on display. You in the area of the good stuff, you have this exploration card. It says right now you need to search and explore. It's okay to wander until you find your home. I feel over the past years, many of you have told me that you've moved a lot. Doesn't really surprise me. You have this inner goddess. It says express your divine feminine energy and loving wisdom will transform your life. So yes, it is time to be in Empress mode, right? We have the Emperor, but maybe it's time to embrace that feminine side and embrace your creativity and loving wisdom and being in the enjoying the nicer things in life as much as you possibly can, nurturing yourself more, taking better care of yourself. All that would be good. You have the Tower, the Two of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. So the Tower and the good stuff can represent avoiding a Tower moment, obviously. It can also represent just a light bulb moment in the area of the good stuff. So a lot of you could be having some sort of realization. Again, I feel like you're going to have a lot of light bulb moments over the coming years with Uranus and Gemini. It's really important that you try them. Some of them will work, some of them won't work. That's how life works. So I don't know what you want me to tell you, but it's like some of your ideas will make you look like a genius. Other ideas will make you look like a fool, but that's the risk we have to take right now. And, that's it. You have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is a perfect match. So if you're attracting love, could be a perfect match for you. Could be a little bit of a shakeup as well with the Tower. I see a lot of people in the future getting into relationships that kind of change the direction of their life. And again, I don't think this is a bad thing. I guess it depends, but it depends on how you look at it. But it's like maybe you never thought you would have a family and now you are, or maybe you thought you would always have a career and now it's like you're getting married and you don't have to have a career anymore, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe now you do have to have a career. So, again, I think it's going to be all over the place for you, Aries, because you're all different. You all want different things. But don't be surprised if, a relationship takes you in a new direction. It's coming up in the good stuff. So obviously it's not something that you'd be resisting. I think it's something you're going to find out you want. You have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is stability. You are going to be very focused on stability because we had Uranus in your second house in Taurus. This is Taurus right here. So I feel, of course, now that it's leaving, thank God, right? Uranus in the second is probably one of the harder places for it to be. So, I feel that it makes finances up and down and all left and right and all over the place. So, your finances are going to be becoming more predictable. With the Tower, you have the World. Some of you could be moving. So if you are looking to move, there you go. I feel that this is starting to come to an end for you. It's not like fully ending, but I do feel that a lot of you are going to start feeling more settled, or you could be finding a place that you feel more settled in. Here you go. With the Two of Cups, you have the Star. So like I said, time for the Star to come out here. It could have to do with love. Like it might be time to open up to a person. Might be time to go out into public to find a person, of course, or something along those lines. It could be an Aquarius that's coming in for you, Aries. Could be any sign, general reading, of course, but, Aquarius stands out. Virgo, Taurus stands out. Sag, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo stand out. So that's it. But, could be any sign, general reading. The Star is about the full commitment. I kind of feel like this is something you are going to want to be all in on. So, if it is love, looks good. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, I feel you are going to be more bold, assertive, confident at this time. She needs to be more bold, assertive, confident. She really needs to go for what she wants. But, with all this energy in your sign, I feel that you are going for what you want. You have this Pig card. It says, beware of greed. Yeah, it's kind of like gambling right now. We need to know when to walk away, right? And this goes for pretty much everything. It's if we extract value from something, and we probably shouldn't stay in it, right? And so it's kind of like a hard thing to describe, but we need to know when we've invested enough into everything that we're working on, everything that we're doing, right? And I feel that's what we have to balance out right now. The opposite of your sign is Libra, and we have all this energy in your sign, so you should probably be working with Libra energy as well. And I think balance is important. You have this kite. It says vacation. You probably are going to need one for sure after the next few months. So if you can plan a vacation or a staycation or a break, that would probably be a good idea. These two wanted to come out together. You have this wreath card. It says sorrow over a loss. You have this bird flying. It says news is on the way. This could be like the replacement of something that you felt like you lost. So you could be receiving news or communication. Even the Tower and the good stuff can kind of represent that. The Tower, the Tower comes collapsing down, but we always, only to its foundation. We are supposed to rebuild the Tower after. So, some of you could be in kind of rebuilding something. You have this pail. It says time to get out of a situation. Yeah, anything that's not working, anything that's not fulfilling you, I would definitely leave it behind, whatever it is. And of course, you have this love card here, Aries. So anything you can do, I think even if you don't want love, or if you already have love, right? Practicing the energy of love is what the universe wants you to do, especially having had Uranus in your second. The second house has to do with value, just in general, things that you value. So I feel having more things in your life, and this does not have to mean material things. This could be experiences. It could just be how you treat yourself or whatever. Coming from the perspective of love is going to be very helpful for sure. But this looks pretty good, Aries. I like it. So thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your month.